making this video at work. I'm sorry. Every single one of the videos, including him, had to be deleted, or else my channel would be down. My channel would be gone. Yandere Dev copyright claimed 2 of my videos. And that's it. If he had done a 3rd, I would have been gone. I had to delete every single one.
Hey guys, Nathyn Brandon Masters. The art you're looking at here is from Victor Locke, Demon Hunter, Demon Noir issue 2, which we're going to be throwing up on Indiegogo in September. Currently, I'm promoting Hexcraft Mechanics issue 2, which is my urban fantasy action book based here in Chicago, written and drawn by me. And unlike a certain person, when you give me money, I like to give you the product that you paid for. If you like this kind of stuff, and something tells me that people watching this video might be into attractive, dangerous women, if you are, there's a lot of them in this book. Link is in the description. Now, if any of you don't know who that was in the beginning, that was TheGameSleuth. If you've been following this Yandere Dev, Yandere Simulator debacle, he was one of the premier people who followed all of this and would make videos about it. So Yandere Dev finally hit him with a copyright strike. Hit him with 2, actually. And if you guys have been on YouTube, you know 3 copyright strikes, that's it. Your channel is down. So the 2 copyright strikes, that's a threat. That's him basically saying, hey man, you get that 3rd, you're down. Okay, so what he would have to do now is go through the process that YouTube has set up, which is glaringly, it's like there's so many ways to abuse it. It's just ridiculous. First thing, to go through the process, you have to put in your personal information. So this would mean that Yandere Dev would have his personal information. Now, if you have a lawyer, you could put in their information, but I'm pretty sure TheGameSleuth doesn't have a lawyer to fight his YouTube enemies. So he would have put in his personal information and all that stuff, which Yandere Dev will then have. And then on top of that, Yandere Dev is not doing this in good faith. And that's what YouTube does. It assumes the person that's making the claim is making it in good faith. And indeed, you have to put down there, yes, I'm doing this in good faith. I really believe this is a copyright violation, etc., etc., etc. The problem with this is everybody knows that Yandere Dev does this to stop people from talking about him. Now, here's what people may not know, and if you don't know this is illegal activity. Yes, it is. Filing a false DMCA claim is illegal activity because you're saying under penalty of perjury that this is true, that you believe this to be true. But don't take it from me. I'm just a random guy on YouTube. Nick Rekieta, who is a very well-known YouTube lawyer here, he's very much into the geek culture, he's into the YouTube culture, and he knows the legalities of these things. And this is what he had to say, not about this issue, but something similar that's happening with memeology.
YouTube is empowering criminals over content creators through its broken implementation of the DMCA. YouTube would prefer to give criminals the ability to have power over the content creators that make its platform actually operate. And here is the most recent glaring example from Memeology 101. This is just happening right as I'm doing this video. Memeology says, my channel once again in danger of being terminated. AKA Superhound is now impersonating me and my brother taking down the music we created from scratch. Team YouTube, this criminal is impersonating me taking down my own music. He's got the counter or the notifications here, and he has to file counter notifications on each of these, and then those have to go through a process where they go back to the criminal for approval. And if the criminal does certain things, it can take a very long time to get these strikes to go away. And YouTube doesn't care. They have made no efforts. This has been a problem for a long time. I have to stress this. YouTube has done nothing to stop this, despite this being raised to them over and over and over again.
So what makes one a criminal? Engaging in criminal activity. And that's what Yandere Dev has done on multiple occasions, using the copyright system to shut people down because they're criticizing him and his scam of a game. And I am using the word scam. It is a scam. I'm new at the whole Yandere Dev thing, and it only took me a small amount of time to look at this from top to bottom, side to side, and go, this is a scam. You saw my last video, this is a scam. It's hard to criticize the business acumen of someone when they literally are scamming people. And it's a stupid scam because you literally could have had more money had you done things correctly. So you went for the fast money instead of holding out and getting the big money. Now, I originally thought that this was ego. Just a guy who created something and didn't want to let go of the control. He didn't want to let go of those strings, but this is very blatant. This is very in your face. For whatever reason, he knows that he can do this and get away with it, and he's very sure of it. He's protecting his scam right now. He would do better to literally find a company and sell the game to a company. There's somebody out there who will buy that game from him and do it upright and just give him some percentages. But he'd rather engage in this criminal behavior so that he's not called out, as if people don't know, as if people are not calling him out, as if this is some kind of shocking revelation. He's not creating a game because he never intended to. He's living off of money generated through crowdfunding for something that he's never going to produce. The biggest thing people are getting out of this is enjoyment of the drama and, of course, the other games that have come out, particularly Lovesick or Love Letter as it's called now, and watching the development of those IPs. But anybody who wants to make these videos, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. The best thing that I could say is don't use any of his clips, don't use his image, don't use anything he can specifically pinpoint and say, this is mine. He may lie and say, something, but don't make it easy for him. So that's my main piece of advice I would throw out there. It doesn't mean that he can't do some other stuff. It just means that that's one thing he can't do. He can't specifically say, this is mine. And what's going to eventually happen, in my opinion, is one day he's going to run up on somebody who's got some money and can actually afford a lawyer. And that lawyer is going to come in and put their foot in his ass. And then he's going to have a bigger problem. But right now he's been lucky enough to attack people who basically can't afford that kind of thing. And so he can pretty much get away with it because YouTube won't do anything about it. At the end of the day, there's always going to be some people who will back Yandere Dev. That's just how it's going to be. But as time goes on and money gets tighter because of the things that are, what's going on now, eventually that's going to dry up because people are going to need more money for themselves, and they're not going to be willing to spend money on what essentially is vaporware. So right now, the only thing anybody can do is just keep reporting on it. And quite frankly, if people want to continue to give him money, that's their right. But my only issue is when he starts messing with other people because they're reporting on the things he's doing. You mean to tell me it's wrong for them to report on the things, but it's not wrong for you to do the things? So hopefully people will make enough noise about what's going on with TheGameSleuth and get his channel, get those copyright strikes removed. And there should be some kind of punishment for people doing this. It should be a thing like if you're known for doing this to stop criticism, then YouTube should, whatever the punishment was for them, YouTube should do it to you. So that way it would be like, okay, this will teach you the lesson that you can't do this in the future. You cannot just silence people who are saying things to you. And let's also keep in mind, there's some big companies that get away with doing this, and YouTube will just let them do it, because YouTube is very open to any big company doing anything they want to YouTubers. So people can and do get away with this all the time. But if we make enough noise about it, sometimes YouTube will pay attention. But that's all I got today, guys, on Yandere Dev. I will try to come back here with r/glitch in the matrix, and maybe even r/paranormal. I might try to do 2 of those today. Don't forget about Hexcraft Mechanics issue 2. Hope you guys stop over there, back that project. We've got 4 backers now. Maybe you can be the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th. That would really help this project out. And remember, the funds go to support me as well as the channel and helping me create more books and content. All right, guys, you take it easy. Nathyn Brandon Masters. Hasta.
Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it, the borderline to where the future leaves us behind. The fire will burn.